Jim, congratulations. Some aggressive changes during that second half, particularly at half time. You must be delighted with your tactical acuity today.
Well, I can't really take credit. I mean, I decided to give Belly the run because I thought if you come off the bench and score and you do the job a little bit better than the other one, then you deserve to start. But we were in training all week, and I didn't think either one grabbed the shirt. And the stuff that we worked on in training, and I just didn't see it from in the first half. We got a couple of crosses to the near post, and I was not there. Frank does that second half and we score. So I was kind of forced into those changes, and then people got every right if they want to criticise me and say, well, Frank should have been playing from the start. But you've got to give people that chance if they show a little bit of life and that they can deliver something. So because Ben Jackson in particular must be disappointed he's not played, because he would have been a natural choice to come in on left wing. Every time he comes on, he delivers. He gets us up the pitch. He wins set plays. He gets shots on target. He gets balls into the right areas, and really pleased for him, because last week he won the corner. Because we can always talk about Elliott's cross and Niall's finish, but it's Ben wins the corner, and Ben again won this corner that he put in. So you know, he's responded really well, because he had a really tough period, and he's got every right to turn around and say, well, why are you not playing me from the start? And but I said that to him, like, this is a really big game to come to, and sometimes it's a big stage, you can be overwhelmed, but it's good to have players like, I mean, when you look at the bench and you've got Paul Turnbull, Jackson, Thomas and Frankie, I think, well, you have got, and you know at some point you're going to use them all for different reasons. But I think the bravest thing we did probably second half was, because I thought we weren't getting up the pitch, we weren't getting out, and we were contained quite well from the back four, was to basically go 4-4-2 and get Elliott out wide and get Devante. And I just didn't think we exploited the opportunities to counter-attack within that. So that was frustrating. But it did mean that we did get in behind a little bit more. But it was really the one thing that jumps out about the game, because I didn't think we had a lot of players that were at the top of the game, but I think definitely from back to front the performances were higher. The goalkeeper, the back four, the holding midfields were brilliant. And the one thing that this game shows really is just, I can't commend their character enough. We've had games in the past where we've been 2-0 up and held on for life, which has shown character. But to be 1-0 down at Barnet, a good side, have given us a real stretch, really being on top of us. To go and win this game in the circumstances we've done just shows what character we have, and the character of last year's champions.
I mentioned the aggressive substitutions, the change of shape, but also it's perhaps an opportunity just to reflect on the fitness work that goes on behind the scenes, because this is 2 weeks running you've scored late goals, you've kept on going to the 93rd, the 94th minute in games.
Yeah, well, my strength and conditioning coach Nick refers to himself as that his part is only 1%. I just said this, okay, I can't take all the credit, but Nick's definitely much more than 1%. But we put on the work. We tried to keep the tempo in training high. We tried to do it functional, but also with a lot of purpose. The gym works there, and it shows in the strength and the resilience of all our players to go from game to game and training session to training session injury free. So Nick's role has been tremendous. Obviously Luke's had to manage a couple of niggles this week to make sure everybody's fit, but again, we always come back to, we just create that environment that really the level of fitness, the level of quality that you see today in the character, it's all down to professionals and players. I mean, some of these lads got work, they've got families, they've got lots of other stresses and strains on them that some of our younger players don't have, and yet they just keep performing and producing in game after game. So yeah, credit to Nick, credit to Luke, but also, as I said in the change room, credit to professionals and players and the character to show that they can withstand that kind of intensity from Barnet and still stay in the game right up to the final minute and the 3 or 4 or 5 minutes after that as well. So really pleased for them, and all the credit to them.
It's 1 defeat and 7 now. You went through that sticky spell in September. You brought a lot of loan signings in who've actually not many of them are featuring. Are they putting pressure on the lads who you wanted to reward from last season? Is that keeping them on the toes, do you think?
It's a good question, and it's. I think that we went through a period where we obviously had a little bit of strain. I think those 5 wins and the 6 games we weren't perhaps deserving of as many wins, but the character and the quality was there. And then when we had a demoralising defeat, and the injuries happened, and I think we lost Ash Palmer, Sam Walker, and I mean, they were immense today, both of them. But no, I think the idea of bringing the players in was to take the pressure off it, take the pressure off the ball, because of this feeling that we weren't spending money. I wanted to give our lads a good go, and I think it was justified with the results we were getting. But when the cracks started appearing and the injuries started happening, and then we needed to support them and strengthen the squad. And the training sessions have gone up immensely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Adam Hamill's performances in training or Joe Weezy's, but these guys are working really hard, not just in training but in matches, to hold on to the shirt. And so that competition, that quality throughout the group has been really important. We've had some players that have faded a little bit in terms of form and fitness. Little issues like whether it be Connor, whether it be Ben Jackson, whether it be Frank Mulhern, and they've all worked back. And I think having a squad that allows you to take a couple out and let them come back again. And but no, I think we're in a healthy place at the moment. I still look at the team then and think, as I said to lads in the change room, because what I'm saying to you, I say to them, is that across that pitch there was so much more that they can add to their game and improve. And if they did, then they could be league players, and we can be a league team. So I look at that and think, well, if we can win games like this and put ourselves in the position we are now, and then keep adding things. It's nice for me when there's little bits of tactics come off the training ground, coordination, set plays, whatever it might be. But ultimately they've got to be able to deliver that. And then in the other moments when there's a bit of chaos and they've got to select the right technique and the right decision, if they can improve that and grow, then who knows how far some of these players can go in the game. Because I haven't worked with as many players who are as professional and dedicated to the fulfilment of their potential as these guys, and that's the one thing that excites me most, is that there's more to come. I mean, we weren't brilliant today, but it was a performance of organisation, strength and character at the back, and just keep going to the final whistle. And it was just a tremendous recognition, the 3 points of the work that they've done.
Must be lovely for you as well. I mean, it's County's first win here in almost a decade in London. I mean, we've not been in this division for a long time, obviously, but it's a long time since County have won in the capital. So it must be nice for you because you've got family down here as well.
Yeah, I didn't realise that was the start. It's always tough, good energetic side, Barnet.
Yeah.
They'll be so disappointed today. They gave Fleetwood a great game last week, and in other games they've been in good form, and they'll be wanting to kick on in their league season. But I said to lads, all I'm looking for is we went to Sutton and stopped the rot and got a draw, clean sheet, without being negative and defensive. There was needed a little bit more penetration, a bit more quality in the final third, a little bit better set plays or something. And we went to Dover and won, and then we went to Bromley on a Tuesday night and got a result. So it's not just the fact that it's London, but the last 4 away games, because we had that horrible period. We had a great win at Wrexham, great result at Yeovil and Notts County, and then we had this horrible run of away games where we looked like we couldn't get a foothold in the game. But those games in particular, and you look at the last 7, you think the one defeat at Woking was made some poor decisions in that game in terms of tactical changes to try and win the game. Putting Tom Walker the left back, conceded the second goal, and we gave ourselves too much to do. But I look at that and think that all those games, all those tough away games took the toll on that. But when these lads are given the opportunity to be on the pitch and fresh and organised and prepared for a game, then they're capable of giving any team in the division a game, whether that be Bromley or teams lower down. So no, it was great also for our fans, because in the first half there must have been fearing the worst, but for them to just witness that turnaround at the end and to be able to enjoy the celebrations and be going home thinking, wow, what character the lads have shown, what a great result. And I'm sure the league table is looking healthy, because I wanted everybody to take heart from last week's game and say, look, now if we play like that and keep playing with the quality and keep playing with intelligence and teamwork, then there's no reason why we can't keep moving forward. It's always tough coming into a level like this when you're travelling so far and getting used to places and used to what the players can play on after long trips. And we've not got everybody at great form, but we've certainly got a lot of players at the moment who are working hard and showing the character that's going to get us results. So really pleased for everybody that's travelled down today, and I'm sure that we're all looking forward now to Ebbsfleet at home next Saturday, because people must be excited that the county team's back and starting to show that they can be a good side at this level, and hopefully we perform really well next weekend.
I think you're right. I mean, I think the league table as well, you mentioned it there, up to 10th, 2 points off the playoffs. I mean, if somebody had given you that at the start of the season, would you have been happy with that position at this stage?
Well, we were talking about, one of the staff asked me that last night, whether in 13th would we settle for that if it was the end of the season, and I said, part of me wants to, because I think there's a lot of things to happen between now and the end of the season. We've got loans going back, and whether the Alex Currans and the Adam Thomases and the Conor DeMeyers, whether they can step up and fill the boots, the Darren Stevensons, will we be good enough? And I was quietly confident we'd have a healthy season. We don't know the level well enough to be able to judge whether we're good enough to keep the momentum. We've certainly not got the sign of Salford money to go back to back, but what we have in our resources is we just work hard. We kind of organically grow in the club, and we're moving in the right direction. And I said I wouldn't want to settle for that position in 13, because I think, if given the way that we grow and adapt and we add and we get better as the season goes on, then we should be looking forward to the rest of the season with sort of optimism and confidence that we're going to have a healthy year, and we're going to hopefully be in the right end. But I do feel the Danny Bergara spirit when you get to February and you got them 50 points and you know you're safe for another year, because it's always something that hangs over, because things can change so dramatically, and we've seen it already this season. So what we're doing at the moment is just being modest, respectful of the league. A lot of tough games to come up. We're really pleased and proud of what we've achieved in terms of the points total for this amount of games, and if we do that in the next so many games and settle 60 points with half a dozen games to go, then we'll all be thinking it's a really successful season. But a lot of work to be done, and we're going to have days like today where we don't win, and that's when we need to keep confidence in each other and keep believing that we are a good group, and if we do all the things that I said in the programme, it's about commitment and hard work and discipline and positivity amongst everybody at the club, then we can all look forward to a healthy 6 months ahead.
Tremendous win today, great subs as well done.
Thanks so much.
Top man.